Well, it seems E3 was cancelled once again, proving that none of these companies need E3 to happen just so they can showcase their games. So for this video, I won't exactly talk about that Summer Game Fest, but really a lot of the stuff that's been announced in the past few months, and the stuff that is gonna come out much later. By the time this video comes out, Final Fantasy XVI will probably already be out, I'm not really sure, but there was a demo release this Monday as I'm recording this, and yeah, it was actually pretty hype. I really like the new action-y approach to combat, reminding me a lot of like Devil May Cry, which a lot of games have already done that this year. But yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. Don't know if I'd buy it day one though, because I'm not really that much of a Final Fantasy fan, but I think Final Fantasy fans might like this one. Although I still feel like a lot of people will be divided by its more action-y approach, and its, well, more medieval sort of approach in terms of setting. And I'm actually okay with it. This is also the first M-rated Final Fantasy game, which, I mean, it's kind of obvious. And in some instances, I was just like, alright, you guys had a little too much fun animating this, because there are just random casual sex scenes sometimes, I swear to God. Other than that, so far I actually really like the much darker approach to this series after being kind of overly clean and sanitized for the past 20 years. Although it is only the first hour, I hope the rest of the game is good, especially since Final Fantasy games are really long. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this one. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can, including this anime shit. Don't know why, but it hits. Look out! He's gonna do a Kamehameha. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 seems like it's gonna improve a lot of things from the last game, including combat and, in some ways, traversal. I really hope that traversal isn't as automated as it was last time, but I still kinda liked it though. I really hope that these web gliders, allowing you to go faster throughout the city, are actually somewhat difficult to use. I highly doubt they're gonna go that direction due to their audience. But, you know, wishful thinking, I guess. Other than that, combat looks like a huge improvement. Like, you got symbiote suit Spider-Man doing all this crazy borderline killing shit, and then you also have all these tendrils and the black suit looks fucking amazing. But we'll get to that, And then you got Miles fucking shooting Kamehamehas out of his hands now, which is a little weird, but you know what? I accept it. If it's a video game mechanic, I'm actually more okay with it then. And you know, it's really cool that Kraven's gonna be in it, since he hasn't been in a game in like 9 years at this point, or at least a main official game, not those stupid ass Lego games. But yeah, it actually is really cool to see Kraven again, and Venom's gonna be in the game, which is also really cool. It's not Eddie, but I guess that's fine. I don't care if it's Eddie or not, I just want them to adapt the story decently, or come up with their own adaptation. I think that's okay. As long as they don't fuck it up like that one Spider-Man cartoon where Spider-Man is voiced by Drake, I Endanger Children Bell. Oh yeah, the black suit looks really good. I like the fact that they actually went with the classic look instead of just like copy-pasting the original advanced suit design. I think that's actually really cool that they decided to go for the classic part while also kind of modernizing it in a sense. It looks less detailed from afar, and then when you get up close, you see more of the details. I also like the fact that it's covered in a lot of skin, because then it kind of reinforces the fact that the symbiote is really just an alien skin suit, and it's alive, and that's actually really cool. I like that Insomniac did that. So yeah, I think the game looks great. Expect a review sometime really close to when it comes out. Now to get into Microsoft's probably biggest win and loss at the same time, which makes no sense, but I will explain why. First off, this game is absolutely massive and the game looks really good. My problem with this game is not at all the gameplay they've shown. It really just looks like Fallout 4 in space, which some people have a problem with that, but that's okay. My problem is the fact that all of this, on console, is gonna run at 30 FPS. Locked. So as in, no performance mode, nor is there an uncapped frame rate mode at launch, which I don't know about you guys, but I think that's kind of a load of bullshit. Because I feel like when a game doesn't run at 60 FPS on machines that are advertised to run at 60 FPS, it's either A, not taking advantage of the hardware, or B, the hardware just isn't ready yet. And that's my biggest problem with Starfield. Is it going to be too big for the Xbox Series X? Or is it just not pushing it far enough? I feel like the problem is that the Xbox Series X just looks like a pushover of a console, because this game, that's apparently their biggest game, can't run at 60. And I know some people are like, oh, well, it doesn't matter, you're stop being entitled. You want games to actually run well? That's gamer entitlement. Like, let me set this straight. Wanting a game to run at 60 FPS at least is not gamer entitlement. Whenever you advertise that this is the case, it should be the gold fucking standard. I feel like it is so stupid to think that a game shouldn't run at a good frame rate, because it's not entitlement. They're not really doing us a favor. Instead, we're actually accidentally doing them a favor by buying this shit. And it doesn't matter whether this game comes on Game Pass or not, because guess what? We still gave our money with the Game Pass subscription, and they're clearly judging by metrics, as in who's playing it, so why does it matter? They're still being supported. And I still feel like running at 30 FPS is a giant L for this console anyways, because this is their biggest game in years. Like, holy shit, it just makes the Xbox Series X once again just looks like a pushover. And it sucks because Hi-Fi Rush came out this year, and that was not as big as this game, but it ran at a really good 60 FPS on console. In fact, it ran better on console than it did on PC. What the fuck? Other than that, I'll just say Starfield looks fun. I think it'll be fine. I think the 1000 planets thing they promised a few years ago is still bullshit. I don't know. I'll probably pick this one up. It's gonna be on Game Pass, so I'll probably just get it anyways. I'm sure it'll be fine. Assassin's Creed Mirage looks like it's actually returning to its roots and actually having assassins instead of Roman and Egyptian warriors and Vikings. I think it'll be fine. I like that they're charging $50 for this on next-gen consoles and not 60 or 70, thank God. But I'm still having a really weird feeling that there will be some bullshit with this game, as there usually is. So yeah, I'll probably pick it up maybe. Warhammer Space Marine 2 looks really good. I'm not really a Warhammer fan myself. That's Leaf Cultist's job. Please subscribe to him, by the way, even though he has more subscribers than me. But anyways, I still think that Warhammer Space Marine 2 looks great. Warhammer Space Marine 1 was like the only Warhammer game besides maybe Vermintide that I gave a shit about. Maybe Bolt Gun also changed that, because I actually like retro FPS games. Anyways, yeah, Space Marine looks cool. Sometimes the frame rate looks a little choppy, but we'll have to wait till release on that one. Still fairly hyped for it though, and I'm sure it'll be really, really good like the last one. I don't really care as much about the story, and I'm not gonna review the game exactly when it comes out, because I just don't think I would. But I would totally review that on my ranking for the end of the year. In short, game looks fun, me like. Okay, so for like the two people who actually looked at my community posts, you might notice that I've actually been pretty disappointed by Naruto Storm Connections. I think that it would be fine, but the way it's being marketed right now, it's as if it's marketed as Storm 4, but with better graphics and more characters. I really like the Storm series, and I actually like the fact that they're repurposing it under Storm 4-esque mechanics, with its own mechanics. But I still feel like the game just sort of looks too similar, and a lot of the trailers just aren't really selling me on the fact that this is a new game. I think the main problem is because the entire series already goes through all of Naruto. There's not really much to work with Boruto, so they have to retell all of Naruto again. And I'm like, yeah, but I already have all 4 Storm games to do that. They could have literally just updated Legacy and had a better performance and frame rate and better visuals, but I guess new game it is. But the new game doesn't look all that different. Yeah, whatever. I'm sure CyberConnect 2 will do it fine, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't really have too much faith in it, but I'm sure it'll be pretty fun. Hopefully the multiplayer is really fun. I highly doubt the netcode's gonna be good since this is a Japanese fighting game, but Street Fighter 6 came out and had a pretty good netcode, so maybe, just maybe, this game will actually be amazing. But I highly doubt it. Okay, Mortal Kombat 1 looks pretty cool. I don't know why the timeline rebooted the last game, but you know what? Fine, if you want the timeline to reboot again like it did in 9, so be it. But I will say that the game itself looks kinda like 11, but it has a new mechanic, which is the cameo system. It's basically a tag team system. People are really comparing it to Marvel vs. Capcom, But I'd say wait for those comparisons for when the game actually comes out. Because whenever a new game comes out, sometimes people want to make comparisons to very vaguely similar mechanics. Just like how people try to say that the Spider-Man games are an Arkham clone, when the Spider-Man games already had their Arkham clone phase. It only loosely takes from Arkham, but you know what? Whatever, I don't care. Stupid internet discussion, I swear they'll compare anything hard to Dark Souls. Like, holy shit. Anyways, getting off topic. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 1 looks cool. It looks like a very different interpretation, and I'm actually okay with that. It looks pretty cool. You know what? I'm just gonna briefly mention the Avatar game. It looks fine. But at the same time, I expected a little bit more. I don't get why it's going for the fucking Far Cry approach, but sure, I don't know, man. I'm not that interested in it. It looks okay. Next. We're also getting a new Star Wars game from Ubisoft. And you know what? It looks pretty okay. The main character does kind of give me a lot of weird Forspoken vibes, but hopefully it's not as bad as that character. But you know what? It seems pretty cool so far, but it'll probably still have a really generic, anemic open world like every other Ubisoft game. I'm sure it'll have some pretty cool set pieces though. You know, Sonic Superstars actually looks kind of fun. Like, I'd actually play this with my friends if I wanted to. Yeah, it really gives me a lot of new Super Mario Bros. Wii vibes for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's the fact that it's bringing back a classic era to new home consoles. Hopefully it's not like the Sonic 4 way of doing it, and more like Mario Bros. Wii. But yeah, it looks really cool. I'm really excited for the co-op capabilities, and I think it'll be pretty fun. This game isn't going to be made by Sonic Team, but I still have some faith in it. I think I have more faith in it knowing that it isn't made by Sonic Team. I don't hate Sonic Team, I just don't really have any faith in their ability to make an amazing game anymore. And I'm not gonna say that this game looks amazing, but it looks fairly fun. One thing I can't really get behind though is the music. It just doesn't sound that great. It's not bad, it's just not the best. And it's really weird since Sonic games are usually known for having really good music. But this isn't made by Sonic Team, so maybe they don't have the same composers. But at the same time, Sonic Mania wasn't made by Sonic Team, and it had really good music, so I don't know what's going on here. Otherwise, it looks like a pretty fun game. Holy shit, Pragmata was delayed again. Anyways, moving on. Well, Like a Dragon Gaiden seems to be a really good game. Apparently Kiryu came back to life, I guess, and now has magic powers? Like, okay. I don't know if it's really as grounded as Yakuza, but Yakuza, in terms of gameplay, wasn't that grounded, so I accept the fact that he now has magical powers. I mean, sure, why not? It looks like a really good game, like a really solid beat-em-up, and all the usual Yakuza sort of things. I didn't really like the fact that the last few Yakuza games have been really turn-based focused, but I'm glad with the recent release of the Like a Dragon Ishin remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it, we've gone back to the beat-em-up style of Yakuza. My hype for FF7 Rebirth kinda died for a bit, and only through this trailer was it revived just a tad. I won't pretend it's really a game I'm looking forward to that much, since again, like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm not that big of a Final Fantasy fan, but at the same time I would still definitely pick up a sequel to the remake, because I actually liked the remake of Final Fantasy VII. I know I'm not a real fan or something, I don't care. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And wow, it's hilarious that I begun this video with Final Fantasy 16 and then ended it with the sequel to Final Fantasy Remake. Like, okay, that's cool, I guess. Anyways, yeah, all these video games that have been announced look kinda cool. Okay, goodbye.